But this is Roadwarden, and Roadwarden is available on PC, macOS, and Linux. It goes for $10.99 USD, and this is like a RPG visual novel type game. So let's jump into this, and hopefully it captures, because everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people will never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beast and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectful one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls. I still have my doubts. I leave the safety of the city walls. Okay, so please select the difficulty mode. This choice can't be altered later on. For those focused on the story, there is no time limit for casual, more cash at the start. Some quests are more forgiving. We will probably play the standard for those familiar, because I'm familiar with RPGs. So we have a 40-day time limit, regular rule set, and then restrictive for the return of road wardens, 30-day time limit, increased nighttime damage. We're gonna do standard. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You are supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk nor trolls, and the night is near. Your pale fae breathes heavily. It had a long day. I could just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. No. I kind of want to look around cautiously to see if I see anything else, to be fair. Is what I would probably do. Let me turn down this on my ears because they're just driving me nuts. But at the same time, I kind of okay, let's look around cautiously. Let's not dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soul of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which gets denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. I could just look for another shelter. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. I'm gonna peek inside now. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. I could just look for another shelter. I mean, they don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head cover and iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gamson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, and if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I let them speak first. I asked them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. So we have friendly, be supportive, and cordial. Playful, use a joke or a witty comment. Distant, hide your emotions. Intimidating, hit at a threat. And vulnerable, be sad, tired, afraid, of hopeless. I mean, I'm gonna be cordial. Like, I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? I mean, I wouldn't go out there joking like, yeah, I see you guys got, jacked up. Like, no, like, that's instant death. The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gamson, and steps toward you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. Though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity, or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your best here. Better bring your beast here, asked the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tula, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I shake her hand. It may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop, pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself before you can call me. But you can call me. Yeah, because what if this is a trap? I'm gonna tell her, like, I need to wash myself before you can call me. But you can call me. How do you want people to call you? Leto? Or I can change the name. We're gonna go with the name I tend to use. And we'll call myself Siren Marie. The lieutenant stands with her hand out, but then raises her arms with an awkward smile. Of course. Just keep your horse away from the tent. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. We should also prepare for the night. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. That's fine. I should get used to sleeping on the ground. Anyway, that's fine. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans can ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragon Woods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your pale fae needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. I don't care how it feels, but I need it to be strong if I want to travel, and I can't afford another one. I'm going to choose the it's my companion route. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals, and even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom, but you know the horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You talk a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack, but there is no inn. Like, what are you doing? You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Court's eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Fighter, I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gebison, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Mage, I have talismans that help me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. Scholar, I carry writing instruments and alchemic ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a healing potion. I want to learn more about the 3 classes. As a fighter, you have an easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes, what opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners, right? Usually when you play D&D, most people play fighters because you get an extra I was gonna say perk, but it's not a perk. Oh my goodness! For the love of me, I can't think of what they're called. Feat. You get an extra feat as a fighter when you play D&D. So a lot of people choose to play. Usually human fighters, they choose to play because you get that extra feat. The fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vital points drop to 0. The mage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than... I'm not playing a mage. I'm just going to put that out there. Not playing a mage. But as a mage, you'll be able to heal faster while resting. Okay, wait a minute now. Okay. Okay, that kind of puts mage back on the table. Detect magic in a mysterious area, distract the beast with a simple trick, and find a common tongue. Oh, no problem. And find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's powers too freely will result in having pretty much no mana left when you need it the most. The scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat. Also, they're like glass cannons. With combat more than the other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemic mixtures that will help you escape from any... yeah. I'm torn between fighter and mage. I think I'm gonna do mage, believe it or not. Because being able to detect magic could come in handy. Being able to heal faster when resting would come in handy. I don't want to do the scholar because the scholar is too squishy. And then, like they said, with the fighter, the issue with the fighter is that you're just relying on strength only. And then you might get into situations where strength just doesn't help you out. Whereas the mage, you can still fight. Like, mage is kind of, in this, it seems like the mage is kind of balanced. So I think I'll go with mage. I picked the mage. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin is unpierced. The spare clothes are still here just in case. You take a Open your inventory. I'm like, take a blank at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, something else, food rations, knife, nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. So open your inventory. Unless you're occupied with another task, you can eat food, drink potions, and use your items from this menu. Be sure to click on each new item you receive, as some of them have unusual applications. Okay. Food rations. They consist of dried meat, crackers, nuts, seeds, fruits, and water, which spoil slowly and don't require additional cooking. A pouch with coins. The city artisans makes coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. They are valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. A gamberson. A padded defensive jacket made of linen filled with rags. It's the cheapest type of armor. Yeah, we had to take that hit though. Yet surprisingly effective and as a result very common. Magical amulets. Magic is unreliable, so you spent a sack of coins to collect a couple of enchanting amulets. They help you focus your mana in ways that you don't quite understand. The travel set. Your sack contains all sorts of useful tools, and then we have a simple battle axe. Traveling with an axe shows that you have learned how to fight humans and human-sized monsters. It's not masterfully made, but it's already been put to the test and you practice with it for many days. Okay, let me save as well. Return. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beasts and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them, eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. I thank them for the meal, but I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tola, what can she tell me about this area? I completely ignore the meal. I sit down and speak to Tola. I'm going to thank them for the meal, but I don't want to eat with them. Because if this is a setup and I eat this food and it knocks me out, who's to say that they're not going to steal my horse and run off? So I'm not going to eat the food. Like, no, I don't trust it. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion, and a piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shaking nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. What I discuss with the officials should stay between me and them. I don't feel that, because part of me is like, I should share what I consider to be relevant. But at the same time, I feel like what I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. So what I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. You think how unprepared you are for this task, since this area is too far away from Hovalava, to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. It's a place of both danger and opportunity. A great realm to spend the rest of summer. Actually, I'd prefer to keep it that way, says Tulia. The less you tell us, the smaller the chance that the commanders will send us here again. The bitterness in her brief laughter. I'm fine with the soldier's life. You know, I just hope to find an outpost where I won't have to bid farewell to most people I know. It's understandable. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? What should I know about the peninsula? Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? I've lost my rope. Could you spare one? What happened to your squad? Tola, how did you become a lieutenant? What was your squad's mission? Anything I should know about this camp? If you were me, where would you go next? Before I continue my journey, I need to ask them about the peninsula, the roadway, and the rope. Okay. So ask them about the peninsula. I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, said the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent pale fare. I guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues, from here you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havalavian officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and well, he turns to Tola. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Siren Marie. But are you a devout soul? Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm part of the United Church. No! For many years, I supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachers of an order of truth. Okay. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, mana, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Okay, let's see. I kind of like Order of Truth. But I also like Fellowship too. And I have a feeling I'm assuming by picking one of these, you're picking a deity. And I would think I'm going to say I have a place in my fellowship. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about the River of Faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a unite myself, she says with a sort of pride in her voice, so she follows the United Church. Maybe just explain what you were thinking. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an emirate, like yourself. They do crazy shit. They do crazy shit. Paying chips in, because I just feel like he would be animated with that. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil? Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You heard tales such as this once you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? And how about the East? Any monster worth mentioning? Any that could catch my mount? That's all I need to know. Let's ask about. I'm pretty sure they didn't walk up and say, "Hey, we're your neighbors, by the way. Kill us and make us your puppets." Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't do that. So, tell me about these. She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? Any monster? Again, I just don't see them walking up to the necromancers like, "Howdy, boys. We're your neighbors." And then, if 5 of y'all people died, because remember they said it was 8 of them to begin with. 1 ran off crying, and 5 died. Who's to say that these necromancers didn't take the 5 soldiers that died and turn them into undead? Like, I wouldn't want to see my comrade like that. So, let's go with any monster worth mentioning, and then we'll ask about the necromancers. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, trinets, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mole-fin eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tolia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there. See, I knew that's what they were going to say. Like, because why would you want to talk to necromancers? Like, dude, if we could avoid it. You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it. The lieutenant chuckles. Maybe there'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first and soon. Talia nods. Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. That's all I need to know. Okay, what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Talia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. Wow. The soldier speaks for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us. Astrid never gets bored. Tolia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his sarong. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richard Roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating sarongs as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tolia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Astrid's stuff. Wait! She raises her own paw. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids, and it varies near Havilavilan. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions, quite a treasure. So I'm gonna go with that the first Roadwarden was probably a fighter. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff. Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll go back to Haviland together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Haviland in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear, mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles, probably resurrected by the necromancers. That's not on there, but I'm just gonna say it. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. I've lost my rope. Could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. I gotta find rope. A rope made of hemp fibers. I take it and offer some food in return. Tolia leans forward and rests her forearms on her thighs. Looking down with clasped hands, they meet your eyes. I normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our groats, looking for worms and prodigy. We forage, but it's not a good spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. And for now, you leave the food rope on the table. I'm like, do I want to know what happened to the squad and stuff? I kind of do, because I want to know if the necromancers took them. The man shrugs. Bandits happen, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and looked for it in. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arm, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Very much so. They killed some and took others away, who knows where. They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, added the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know how our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a trinket. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of a ritual hunt, so a werebear tore not a werebear. Tore her to pieces. Damn, not death by werebear. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gamson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. Well, a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mud, but it's empty. You've made this place safer? Barely. Tulia seems tired, and who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. Can I quick save? I know everything I need to know. Well, can I go to settings and save? Because we're gonna go back. We saved. We're gonna save again just to be on the safe side. You know what? Save here. So now I know it's saved. And go back to the main menu. Because that was Roadwarden. Very interesting game, especially because I like games that are like D&D based. And so this is kind of like a one-shot D&D campaign. And I kind of like that about the game. But if you like visual novels and role-playing games, then I do recommend this one. Again, Roadwarden is available on PC, macOS, and Linux. It goes for $10.99 USD. And I do want to take the time to thank the publisher and developer for providing me with a free copy of Roadwarden to play on tonight's stream.